Hello, hello, and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to It's All About Choices. And I am Sandra, your RDN. And thank you for tuning in again. We are doing one of my up close and personal segments where I feature a special guest. So I love having the opportunity to allow you all to hear from real people and not just hear from myself. And so you can hear real testimonies and real journeys and learn that in many cases you are not alone. We all are going through the same things. We just don't talk about it, and we don't share that information. So here's an opportunity for you to learn and get inspired by somebody else. Somebody else. And so today, our keynote speaker, our guest, is Miss Carolyn Burt. And we have been working together privately since around June, and she has been awesome. She is doing a wonderful job, and she is truly going to be a testimony for each and every one of you. And I'm excited to have you join me today, Miss Burke. And you are in for a treat, everybody. Okay. So thank you, Miss Burke, for taking time out of your schedule
Yeah.
to share. So I do appreciate it. And so her title is How Carolyn Eliminated Recurring Kidney Stones, Reduced Blood Pressure Medications, Lower Cholesterol Levels, Cut Out That Afternoon Napping, and Jumpstarted her weight loss. And all of this despite of dieting and even eating vegetarian for the past 23 years. So I know that this is something that many of us can relate to. Okay. And so if you can relate to it, chime in and say you can relate. And just know that throughout this entire conversation, please chime in, please ask questions, please share aha moments, and I will go through the comments and I will respond to them. So I like for these to be interactive. As you all know, I like engagement, so we want you all to participate as well. All right, so we are going to jump right in. We're going to hear from Ms. Burke herself. And so, Ms. Burke, share with us what line of work were you in before you retired?
I was a budget analyst for the US government for 30 years, and I just sat at my desk every day, all day. I would go out and walk at lunchtime for 30 minutes, but that's what I did. I was a budget analyst managing million of dollars for the federal government.
Nice, nice. Awesome. I always like to hear what people do. So it's always amazing to see all the different lines of work. And so thank you for your service. and
Yeah.
so um, and so let's talk about the backstory. So one of the things that was that you had been suffering with for many years were kidney stones. So let's kind of talk about that, how that started and that journey.
I know the kidney stone started with me eating vegetarian food, all that salt and soy, that stuff is not good for, even though when I became a Seventh-day Adventist, they told me to eat healthy. And so I was thinking I was eating healthy by eating all the processed vegetarian food for 20 some years plus. And then over the years, I realized that I was talking to one of my pharmacists, and she said that soy products causes kidney stone. And I said, oh, really? And that's when I started realizing that I was having kidney stones twice a year, going in and get them broken up. I mean, that's a very painful, very painful. I'd rather have a set of triplets than to have a kidney stone. That's just how painful it is to my body, to any person's body. So I decided not to eat all that stuff anymore. So when I became joined Sandra's program, she was telling me I need to eat healthy. I was missing a lot of nutrients in my body. So when I got on her program and started eating right, losing weight, then as of now, I don't have any kidney stones anymore. Praise God. They're all gone.
Yes, yes. And really, because this is not the first time that I've heard about eating certain foods can cause kidney stones. I ran into a situation a while ago where a lady was eating a lot of vegetables like spinach and just an
Yeah.
excessive amount to help control her blood pressure. And so, very similar with you, you had to kind of start shifting more to soy products and the more processed soy products. And so, really, it was the amount. So, not necessarily because I don't want people to have fear. Oh, if you have soy, like soy products or tempeh or tofu, that you're going to get kidney stones. But it was more in excess. So I always tell people too much of anything, even if it's vegetables or spinach or broccoli or green beans. If it's too much for our body, then it can have a negative reaction. So really, it was just the excess of it. But we are thankful that you painted a pretty vivid analogy there about having triplets versus kidney stones. So that made it very clear to me how painful it was.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Very.
Oh, so we are glad that is behind. And how many years did you suffer with kidney stones? Was it the full 20 plus years?
Yeah, about 20 some years because it started, I'm from Alabama. My first kidney stone started when I moved back to Alabama in 2007. And that's when I started having problems. I started going to the kidney doctor and he said I had kidney stone. They broke them up there. Then when I came back to Orlando, I continued to have them. And like I say, thank God I haven't had any in almost
Yes.
a year now, or between the
Yeah.
last months to a year. And that is because
Yes.
of the program with working with Sandra.
Amen. Amen. And let's talk about your blood pressure. So we know that you came in with medications and you was averaging about, maybe close to 150s over the 90s as far as your average blood pressure readings. But let's talk about your battle with blood pressure because I too share that same struggle and as well. So what has that journey been like for you?
Yeah, my blood pressure has been, one day I called my doctor, my blood pressure was like 97 over 60. And I called the doctor, I said, oh, my blood pressure is too low. What's going on with me? And they said, oh, that's good. That's a great blood pressure. You're doing good. Whatever you're doing, Miss Burt, you continue to do it. So I did tell them I did. I hired me a nutritionist. I looked online, found me a nutritionist. I said I want a African American nutritionist, somebody that really know and can understand my body and understand me as a Black woman. So I found Miss Sandra online. I didn't know anything about her, but I found her. I decided to call her, and I'm glad that I called her, and she's been helping me through this program. It's a very good program.
Awesome. And we're going to share some of those testimonies with her blood pressure because I love, it's great to hear people lose weight, but when people tell me that their medications are reduced or they went away, that's when I really celebrate because that's huge. That's huge. Let's talk about quality of sleep. So how was your sleeping, prior to us working together and how was your sleep quality?
Now I sleep 8 to 9 hours per night. Before I didn't sleep good, even though I do sleep on a sleep apnea machine. Even though that machine, I pulled it, jerked the thing off my face, and because it was uncomfortable. But now I can sleep, and sometimes I don't sleep with the machine. I can either sleep with it or without it, and I can get 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night.
Yeah. Yeah. And so now the CPAP machine, is it just kind of as you need it, or what is the doctor saying about that?
You know what? I need to go back and take another test. They called me recently. Like I'm glad I meant to do that today. They called me recently about coming taking be retested. So if they retest me, I may not even need it again. So I'm gonna
Yes.
take that test and see, and I'll let you know.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is awesome. That's awesome. Because I know those things are uncomfortable at night.
Wake up
They
someone
are uncomfortable.
what's on my face, you need to snatching the thing out of your face. Yeah, so it is uncomfortable.
And how were your energy levels, the beginning of the year and, prior? How were your energy levels?
My energy level is getting better. I couldn't walk at one time at all. My body was stiff. I couldn't hardly get out of the bed. But now I go on J. Blanchard Park Trail and walk an hour, at least 3 or 4 days a week, and I can do. I'd hire someone to clean my home. now I can do certain things in my home myself, like mop my floor or wash my dishes. At one time, I couldn't do any of that, but now I can. I can
Yes.
stuff in my house, clean my house all myself, clean my bathroom, wash, do my laundry. I can do that stuff myself now. And plus go for an hour walk. That's a big increase in what I used to do.
Yeah, yeah. Now, do you know what was causing the reason why you weren't able to clean the house or move around? What was the joint pain you was experiencing,
I
or?
do pain back, even though I still have a little back pain, I can still, I'm still motivated to clean my house myself.
Hey, that's good. That's good. That's good. And what about that? The afternoon nap.
I
I think we
don't,
was a
no
faithful
big,
napper, right?
yeah, I slept every day, at least 2 hours. And I think when my pastors told me, Sister Burt, that's not a nap, that's going to bed for the night. I said, I take a 4 hour nap. A 4 hour nap, that's not a nap, that's a going to bed. So anyway, I don't do that anymore. No, take no
Yeah,
4. I don't nap at all. I be busy doing stuff, so I be doing stuff to keep me busy. So I don't have time.
yes. That's good. That's good. Now your quality of life has increased. So you retired. Now you're going to enjoy retirement and do all the things that you want to do.
I want to start
So share.
traveling again. I want to start traveling again. I haven't traveled to
Oh,
Alabama
nice.
with my family about 4 years. So
Nice. And so share with us your experience. You had done Weight Watchers, and so share your experience with the program that you did with them and the results, and how'd that go and your overall experience.
yeah, with Weight Watchers, I was on Weight Watchers for about 1 to 2 years, or maybe a little bit longer. And I lost 30 pounds. But once I got off the program, my weight came back. I started back gaining weight. Of course, I wasn't watching my food intake. I was just eating, eating, and I wasn't doing the nutritional stuff, like all the vegetables or the protein, the starches. If I did certain things, I may have overdid it. That's probably why my weight came back. And even though I had kept on continuing to exercise, I was jogging at the time. And that's why part of my problem is because I jogged on that pavement over the years when I was younger. I mean, in my 40s, I used to jog still. And the doctor told me by me jogging on that pavement, that would injured my back. So, but anyway, with Weight Watchers, it was good at the time. But anyway, I gained my weight back. I went from a size 8 to a 14, and I wore some 16. So now I'm back, I can get it back in some of my 10s and 12s dresses. I kept them. I didn't give them away. I kept them. So I
Yes.
those
That's
dresses.
right.
So I was glad I did because I paid quite a bit for them. And I said, I need to get these dresses away. But then when I started losing weight, I can get back into those dresses. So I can keep my
Right.
10s and 12s.
Yeah, motivation. Go shopping in your closet. But
Exactly.
that's good. That's good. And a lot of people do various diets and things of that nature. And so we're glad that you were able to lose it and keep it off. That's the key. We want to be able to keep it off. And
Mhm.
so and did you experience any effects while you were dieting? I mean, did you any headaches, brain fog, any low energy, or was it
No,
just difficult to maintain anything like that?
no, none of that. No, I didn't experience none like that when I was on my diet.
Good. Good, good, good. And how would you describe your relationship with food? So before we met, how would you describe your relationship with food?
I was just eating anything and I craved so much for sugars. I mean, I wanted sweets. Every time I ate, I had to have a dessert after dinner. I don't do that anymore because at one time I was just craving and craving, for sweets. So now I don't have that craving for sweets anymore.
Awesome, awesome. But you still can have them, right? Hopefully you still have them. It's just not that the craving is gone, right?
Yeah, one day I did go. I had a cranberry cookie. It was good. It was delicious. I ate one cranberry cookie. It was good. It was good.
Good,
Yeah.
good, good. Yeah, because and that's good because once you started, you were eating more or less when we started.
I was eat before we started, I was eating more because I would eat a dessert every day. I would like the coconut cake from Publix. I would go get me a piece of coconut cake and eat every piece of that cake before I start this program.
Ah,
And then I would go to the Ethos vegan restaurant in Winter Park and buy 6 cowboy cookies, and I would eat I'm sorry, I would eat every one of them. I sure would. They just that good, so then I stopped. I just did it cold turkey. I said, "I ain't gonna do this no more. I'm not gonna do this
but
anymore."
hopefully, I mean, well, but if you do have the desire, you know you can have them. It's just I think now you're just not overindulging in them. I think that's what you're trying to say. You can eat them without overindulging.
Right, uh-huh. So that like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I'm not gonna go buy 6 cookies. When I went the last time, I bought 1 cookie.
All right.
Mhm.
That's good. Sometimes we gotta take the edge off. Um, and let's see here. And carbs. What are your relationship with carbs? Some people restrict, some people are fearful of them. What was your relationship with carbs?
What all food contain carbs? You like sugar,
Well,
carbs?
carbs like your fruits, your vegetables, your starches. So those are your carbs, not
Oh,
just sweets. So
no, that's fine. I've always been okay with eating vegetables. Sometimes I would eat, uh, I'm not gonna say not too much or too many vegetables. Either I may not been getting enough, but I'm okay with carbs. My fruit,
mhm,
like I said, my bananas, apples, oranges, grapes, all that stuff I'm good with.
mhm, mhm.
I'm
Okay, okay.
a lot of
All
those.
right. Well, what do you think triggered your cravings when you had sweet cravings? Do you think it was a trigger that caused that to happen?
I think it's a habit, out of habit.
Habit. Oh.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Out of
Yeah.
habit. Once I ate dinner, then I thought my body would tell me you need a dessert. It was just out of habit. I was so used to doing that until each time
Yeah.
after I ate dinner, I wanted a dessert. So like I said, I would go to
Uh-huh.
Publix, they coconut cake, eat the whole entire piece of cake, and
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
now I don't do those things anymore. I don't
Yeah.
crave to do that anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yep. And so what's wonderful is you're controlling it. So now, because that's the goal, we it's not like we're never going to want something sweet. It's not like you're never going to want those cowboy cookies or the coconut cake. But now you don't want those things to control you to where you got to have the whole cake or you got to have all 6 of the cookies in order for you to feel satisfied. So the whole point is you being in control, which is awesome.
Mhm.
And I'm just so proud of you because you just made such great progress, continuing to make great progress, and it's natural, was never forced, and so that's what's beautiful about it. What was that trigger then? Because a lot of times I know you tried for many years, I tried for many years to lose weight and get like my blood pressure under control, and for you it was the kidney stones as well as the mobility part of it. So, a lot of the times we try on our own and we think we can do it. But what finally was a trigger that said, okay, let me do that search. Let me try to find a dietitian. Like what was it? What was that final breaking point for you?
When I had those kidney stone, I was trying to figure out what were the exact foods that I was eating that contributed to the kidney stone. So when I contacted you, you started telling me I wasn't getting the right amount of nutrition. And then as I look back over the program, I wasn't getting the right amount of nutrition because I had to eat so many carbs, so many proteins, so much fat, starches, and etc. And I noticed I wasn't getting all those things until you taught me how to eat to get the right nutrients in my body. And then, like now, far as I know, no more kidney stone.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. We haven't had any episodes, and we praising God that it is behind us. It is behind us. What comments have your doctor said about where you are and your progress, and because I know you've had your doctors that you've been following you for quite some time. So have they noticed anything different in labs or
Yeah, my
um?
primary doctor, he said, Miss
Yes.
Burt, whatever you're doing, you continue to do it because you're losing weight, you're looking great, your vitals are good, so and and then even some of my church members tell me how good I look, but they said, "Don't get no more skinny, Carol. You getting too
No.
skinny. Don't get no you stop losing that." I said, "No, it's with my health, and I'm gonna take care of myself." But this after a while, you be so skinny. My sister even said, "Girl, if I didn't know you, I think maybe you was on drugs."
You
That's a
know
girl.
what? It's funny that people say that. I went through that when I lost
You did.
20 pounds because they're used to seeing you one way. And it's
Uh,
almost like they want to continue to see you in that way and not realize. That's why I'm glad you threw in there about it's for my health. I'm healthier because that's pretty much what I had to say because they thought I was sick.
uh,
People thought I was sick, something
well,
was wrong with me. And it's just because they are not used to seeing you that way and but not realizing that no, I might have looked good to you before, but my heart wasn't healthy, or my blood sugar levels weren't healthy. Whatever the situation is. So we got to always think about that. It's not always the external. You
mhm.
know. Uh,
Then when your doctor tell you you don't have AFibs anymore, that's a blessing. So you don't have it. You don't have it. I don't know you. Who told you you had it? And you don't have it anymore, and that's a blessing right there. I was just glad to hear that.
yes, yes. Were you on medications for it?
Like a blood thinner. I'm still on the blood
Okay.
thinner now. They keep me on that, but.
Okay. 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 All right. So let's share some of your good news and some of your testimonies just so people can kind of get an idea. So you've lost 9, 10 pounds. You're like 5 pounds away. So we're gonna get those last 5 pounds off you. Your blood pressure medications have been reduced. Do you remember what was reduced? Was it a whole medication reduced, or did they just kind of cut the dose in half?
They cut it in half.
Good.
And also they took me off the calcium pill. I'm off of, did I tell you about the calcium pill, calcium citrate? They took me off of that one.
Yes, good. That's great. As long as they're taking you off stuff, that's great. And then blood pressure, averaging, I have like about 148 over 85, and now you're averaging about 111 over 70. Sometimes it goes lower, but you're averaging, I mean, it's optimal, and that's with a lower dose of medication is and the good thing is it got that low because now that it's a sign that the medication is too much. So
Yeah.
that's why she's able to back off the medication, which is ultimately what we want. Her A1C and blood sugar levels they remain optimal. And so A1C, for those who don't know, that's that marker for prediabetes. And so she came in with those normal and those remain normal. This is another victory. Her cholesterol levels, they were already good. Okay. They were in normal range when we started and they improved. And so her total cholesterol went from 190 to 132, which is amazing. The LDL, which I call the lousy cholesterol, was 102, which was and then it went down to 80. Okay, so 102, so that's right there on the border. I mean, the 102 is right on the border. Usually we want to under 100, and so now it's down to 80, and so that is wonderful, and then she's no longer taking the naps. She had just talked about her clothes size going down from 14, 16 to like 10, 12. And so those are amazing victories. And she's eating what she wants to eat. She it's no special food. She's eating exactly what she wants to eat and navigating how she wants to navigate. And she's been doing an excellent, excellent job. So she is a true testament of a lot of times us as women, we say, oh, age, when we turn 40, everything slows down and everything just stops. And I'm like, no. So I'm not going to tell Miss Burke's age. I'm going to let her tell it, but she is a prime example.
I'm 70 years old, and I thank God I'm proud of it. And nothing is going to slow down here. At the age of 70, I think I'm going to be better and
That's
better.
right. Amen. So when I grow up, I hope to have the same story. So it's a testimony for me to keep it together. So what are 3 things? What are your top 3 things that you say that we did together that was most helpful, that you found most helpful for your progress?
One thing you did, you taught me how to eat. And I really appreciate that because, like I said, I didn't know I wasn't getting enough vegetables or enough proteins, enough starches. I always thought starches made you fat. And I said, oh, I can eat starches. So you taught me how to eat. And also you taught me when to eat. I need to eat on a schedule. Sometimes I just eat anytime when I got ready. But you taught me how to eat on a schedule. And the last thing you taught me how to lose weight, how to eat to lose weight. And that's what I'm so happy and so thankful for you for teaching me all these wonderful things you have taught me.
Man, it was such a pleasure to work with. Still a pleasure to work with. We are still working together, so that's the beauty of it. It's just we in different stages and different phases, but we are still partnering and still, making things happen. And so, what are any words of wisdom there for listeners who are in the same place that you were once at? They have their struggles that they've had, and kind of feeling frustrated, kind of feeling stuck. What words of advice would you give somebody?
Work advice I would give them: if you want to lose weight and keep it off, not lose weight and gain it back, but to keep it off, I suggest that you check with Sandra Guthrie's program. It really works. It worked for me. And I appreciate her for working with me.
All right, thank you for that. Such a blessing. That's such a blessing. And those of you who have any questions, any comments, any feedback, feel free to chime in and post. And like I said, I will follow up. If you have a specific question for Ms. Burke, if I'm not able to answer it, I will follow up with her and get the answer for you. But I hope you found this inspirational. I hope you found a little bit of yourself in her and in her journey, because we all kind of cross paths. We all go through the same thing, including myself. I'm not immune. I have to stay intentional just like everybody else does. And so I thank you very much for tuning in with this week's live. It's all about choices. And remember to keep a positive mindset and speaking only positive self-talk. That goes a long way in cultivating and maintaining healthy lifestyle and self-care that lasts for a lifetime. So tune in next week, same time, same handle, and have a blessed rest of your day. And thank you again for tuning in. Bye-bye.